Officials in Ohio say all of the exotic animals released from a wild animal preserve have been accounted for. Law enforcement saying 49 tigers and lions and other animals were shot and killed. Of the 56 animals released, only a few were captured alive: a grizzly bear, 2 monkeys, and 3 leopards. Joining us this morning to talk more about all of this, how all of this was handled, and other aspects of the story is Diane Sullivan. She's the director of the Animal Rights Program at the Massachusetts Law School, where she's also a professor. And Diane, we appreciate your time this morning. Do you think police and other officials in Ohio had any other choice but to shoot and kill most of those escaped animals?
You know, I wasn't there, and I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon of animal activists that say they behaved badly, they should have sedated and captured the animals. I don't know. What I will tell you is I do know it takes 20 minutes to tranquilize an animal, and oftentimes it doesn't work if the animal is in a heightened state. These animals, many of them were being freed for the first time in their lives. So did they act simply in an expedient fashion, and were there other alternatives? I certainly hope not. I wish there could have been a different result. I can't even bear to look at the pictures. What a terrible tragedy. Should have never happened.
Right. I think the police officers there and the sheriff, they're saying as well, he wished there could have been another outcome here, but because it was at dusk and these animals were out and they hadn't been fed in a while, he felt that was really the only thing he could do in the name of public safety. I guess, Diane, one of the bigger issues there is that part of the country, especially in Ohio, they allow this type of thing to exist in the first place, where these type of exotic animals were held in this preserve in captivity. What is it about the leniency and the lack of regulation they have in that part of the country where this type of thing can exist in the first place?
Very serious problem. In the past few months, I have been to both of our senators' offices, Kerry and Brown, asking them to support a federal ban on exotic animals, because one could see that this, not certainly this magnitude, but this type of a situation was going to occur. We have probably about 5,000 tigers, many living in people's backyards as pets, because there are states like Ohio, Texas, and elsewhere. There are 9 states in total where there is no regulation at all on the keeping of exotic pets, because whether or not a person can have a wild animal as a pet has been dependent on state law. So some states like Massachusetts, where we sit, has a ban on wild animals as a pet, and there are about 20 states that prohibit it. But the remainder of the states have varying laws, and there are 9 states where there is no regulation whatsoever.
Why is it that people think they can take some of these exotic animals that are best suited in the wild and actually have them as pets in their home, in their yards, things of that nature? Because we hear these stories all the time, and ultimately, in a lot of cases, either those animals turn on the pet owners, or they wind up having to release them or give them to someone else who can handle them.
You know, where has the common sense gone? Part of the problem, though, is the media. We get catalogs in the mail, women's fashions, and the models are now almost much of the time with cute little tigers with the blue eyes. They're about 8 weeks old. We have laws that are policies in this country where cute little tiger cubs and other exotic animals are brought to malls, and people can pay $20 and have their picture taken with this cute little cub. And so this all contributes to the problem. I mean, here in Massachusetts, I'd like to say we would never envision ourselves as taking a tiger and putting it in our backyard or letting it sleep in our kids' beds. But in certain parts of the country, this is a common practice.
Well, hopefully something positive will come out of this tragedy in a way where we can restrict this type of thing from happening in the future all around the country. Diane Sullivan, we do appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for joining us here in the Fox 25 Morning News.
Thank you.